The year was 1587. England wanted power in the New World. Across the Atlantic Ocean, mysterious lands waited to be explored. Those lands would later become America. A group of more than 100 English settlers boarded ships and sailed toward an uncertain future. Their destination was Roanoke Island, a lonely island surrounded by forests, storms, and endless water. The leader of the expedition was John White. The settlers believed they were building the first great English colony in America. Men carried tools and weapons. Women carried hope for a better future. Children laughed as they stepped onto the strange new land. At first, everything felt peaceful. The forests were huge. The rivers were clean. The land seemed full of opportunity. The settlers built wooden homes near the shore. They planted crops. They hunted animals. Every day they worked to survive. But Roanoke Island was not the paradise they imagined. Food became difficult to find. The weather changed suddenly. Heavy rain destroyed crops. Disease spread through the settlement. Some settlers became weak from hunger. Others became terrified of the dark forests surrounding them. At night, strange sounds echoed through the trees. Some colonists believed they were being watched. The settlers also struggled with nearby native tribes. Some tribes traded peacefully. Others became hostile toward the English settlers. Tension slowly grew across the island. The colony needed help. Without supplies from England, nobody would survive another year. So John White made a difficult decision. He would sail back to England for food, tools, and reinforcements. Before leaving, he spoke to the settlers. He promised he would return quickly. Nobody knew that would be the last time many of them were ever seen again. John White boarded his ship and disappeared into the Atlantic Ocean. The colony watched as the ship vanished beyond the horizon. Then the settlers waited. And waited. And waited. But help never came. Because far away in Europe, war had begun. England and Spain were now fighting at sea. English ships were needed for battle. No rescue ships could leave for America. Months passed. Then years. The colony on Roanoke Island was left completely alone. No supplies. No protection. No escape. Only silence. And fear. 3 years later, in 1590, John White finally returned to Roanoke Island. The journey across the ocean had been brutal. Storms nearly destroyed the ships. But White only cared about one thing: finding the colony alive. As the ships approached the island, he searched the shoreline for signs of life. He expected smoke from cooking fires. He expected people running toward the beach. He expected to hear voices. But something felt wrong. The island was silent. No movement. No sound. Only wind moving through the trees. White and his men stepped onto the shore carefully. The colony was empty. Completely abandoned. The wooden houses still stood in pieces. Some buildings had been taken apart carefully. There were no signs of battle. No blood. No burned homes. No bodies. It looked as if the settlers had simply disappeared. Panic spread through the search party. John White desperately searched for clues. Then someone noticed strange carvings in the wood. A single word had been carved into a post. CROATOAN. Nearby, another carving simply read, CRO. That was all. No explanation. No message. Nothing else remained. White remembered an agreement he once made with the settlers. If they ever left the colony, they would carve the name of their destination. If they were in danger, they would also carve a cross. But no cross was found. That meant the settlers may have left willingly. But where did they go? And why? White searched the area for days. But the deeper they searched, the stranger the mystery became. Even White's own family had vanished. His daughter Eleanor Dare was gone. His granddaughter Virginia Dare had disappeared too. Virginia was famous because she was the first English child born in America. Now she was missing forever. More than 100 colonists had vanished without leaving a single clear answer behind. White wanted to continue searching nearby islands. But powerful storms began approaching the coast. The ships were forced to leave. John White looked back at the island one final time before sailing away. He never saw the colony again. And the mystery only became darker with time. As years passed, stories about the lost colony spread across England and America. People became obsessed with the mystery. How could an entire colony disappear without a trace? Some believed the settlers joined nearby native tribes. The word Croatoan was connected to a nearby island inhabited by friendly native people. Maybe the colonists traveled there searching for food and safety. Some historians believe the settlers slowly became part of another culture. Others believed something far worse happened. There were rumors of violent attacks, rumors of starvation, rumors of disease wiping out the colony. Explorers searching nearby areas claimed they found strange clues. Some native tribes reportedly had people with gray eyes. Others supposedly knew English words. Some even wore European-style clothing. These discoveries created new theories. Maybe some colonists survived. Maybe their descendants still lived somewhere in America. But nobody could prove anything. Archaeologists continued searching for evidence for centuries. Old tools were discovered. Pieces of pottery were uncovered. Rusty weapons were found buried underground. But no final answer ever appeared. The lost colony slowly became one of America's greatest legends. Writers turned the mystery into books. Filmmakers created horror movies inspired by Roanoke. Ghost stories began spreading across the country. Some visitors claimed they heard whispers inside the forests at night. Others reported seeing shadowy figures near the old colony site. Whether true or not, the mystery terrified people. Because the idea was horrifying. An entire community had simply vanished from history. No survivors. No graves. No explanation. Only silence. And one strange word carved into wood. Croatoan. Today, more than 400 years later, the lost colony of Roanoke still remains unsolved. Historians continue searching for answers. New excavations still happen around Roanoke Island. Every few years, new theories appear. But the truth remains hidden. Some believe the settlers peacefully joined native tribes and survived. Others believe they died slowly from hunger and disease. And some believe darker secrets still hide beneath the forests of Roanoke Island. The mystery became one of the most famous stories in American history. Because nobody truly knows what happened. Imagine standing on that empty island in 1590. The wind moving through abandoned homes. The silence of an entire missing colony. The fear of realizing over 100 people had vanished forever. No bodies. No graves. No survivors. Just one terrifying clue. Croatoan. Even today, people visiting Roanoke Island still speak about the lost colony. Tourists walk through the forests at night. Ghost hunters search the old settlement grounds. Many believe the island is haunted by the spirits of the missing settlers. And maybe somewhere beneath those forests, the truth still waits to be discovered. But until that day comes, the lost colony of Roanoke will remain one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries.